session, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. So glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. We are eagerly waiting to hear from you, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving your association to us. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Today, we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of the gift of Prema-Bhakti, ultimate desire. Today is day 6. Before handovering the call to Mataji, with your permission, I would like to read today's quote of Srila Prabhupada. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, of course, Mataji. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So today is 5th December. If one purposefully commits mistake and sinful life, now I am chanting Hare Krishna. I can do all sinful life. It will become counteracted. That rascal will be punished very, very much. I am living in Vrindavan. Oh, it is Dhamma. So let me do all nonsense. It will be counteracted. There will be these cats and dogs and monkeys in Vrindavan. Vrindavan Dham, December 5th, 1975. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for your valuable time and association to this mid-morning call, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Now, whenever ready, you can take over the call, Mataji. Thank
Sure,
you.
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sushmita Mataji, for your warm welcome. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us. Really grateful to each and every one of you for your association. I know it's not Friday, but today we will continue our Damodar Ashtakam. 2 more verses left, so Krishna willing, we will finish 1 more verse today, and then last verse will be left, and then we'll see when we can complete. Okay, so thank you once again for your association. So we'll start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Guruve Gaura Chandrai Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tadbhaktaye Namo Namah Anand Leelamaya Vigrahaya Hemavadivya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Mukam karoti vācālum pangum langāyate girim yatkripahatam ham vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanyeshwaram. Thank you once again, dear devotees, for your kind association. So we will start with our Damodar Ashtakam presentation. And before we start with the 7th verse today, we'll go ahead and we'll recite the Pranam Mantra for Shri Radha Damodar. अङ्गश्यामलिमाच्छटाभिरभितो मण्डीकृतेन्दीवरम् जाड्यं जागुडरोचिषं विदधतं पट्टाम्बरस्य श्रिया वृन्दारण्यविलासिनं मृदिलसत् दामाभिरामोदरम् राधास्कन्दनिवेशितोज्ज्वलभुजं ध्यायेमदामोदरम् Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. So we have covered all the verses, verse 1, verse 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this verse, the last verse that we covered, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu, Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabhimagnam, Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Vatanu, Grihni Shamam Agnam Id Akshadrishya. So we saw that in that verse, Satyavrat Muni, he said that somehow previously he was thinking that let my mind be purified, let me see Krishna. Manastya virastam ke manya. He was praying like this, that I only want that you should appear in my mind. But then Satyavrat Muni realized that actually seeing Krishna face to face is much more higher than our mind getting absorbed. Of course, seeing Krishna face to face will never happen till the time the mind is purified, till that mind is spiritualized by having the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Only after that face-to-face darshan can be possible. But after praying such, then he thought that I need face-to-face. I need to see my Damodar face-to-face. And then he said that the only way it's possible is through performing Nama Sankirtan. So he said this verse, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu, and he called out the names of Lord Shri Krishna, and he called out him with different names, and he performed this Nam Sankirtana so that he can see Shri Bhagavan directly, because it's only through Nam Sankirtan that the Lord can be merciful on us and be present before us face to face. But after that, Sanatana Goswami in his Digdarshani Tika says that actually praying in such a way, Satyavrat Muni did get a darshan, face-to-face darshan of the Supreme Lord. But he got just a glimpse, just a glimpse. So this is the laulyam that arises in the heart of a devotee. First, the devotee wants, okay, Krishna, let me just start this bhakti, somehow give me association and I may progress in bhakti. And then when one get taste in bhakti, then he goes and he prays that I should cry for you. I should get those ashtasattvika vikar. And then he prays that, oh, let my mind be 100% absorbed in you, Krishna. You should always be there in my mind. I should always remember you 24/7, 365 days. There should not be a single moment कि आपका विस्मरण हो, means I should ever forget you. There should not be a single moment. But that laulyam doesn't stop there. And then he says, oh Krishna, yes, I can see you in my mind, but I want to see you face to face. And that's the same condition of Satyavrat Muni. He is also praying that I want to see you face to face. And after the end of the verse 6, Satyavrat Muni did get, Sanatana Goswami writes that he did get darshan of Krishna. But that was the slightest, it was just a glimpse that he could see Krishna face to face. But that glimpse didn't satisfy him. He wants that, oh, I want to see Krishna always. What should I do that I should always see Krishna? And then Satyavrat Muni said, okay, so this time Krishna was asking me that, okay, ask any benediction you want. So let me grab this opportunity. Let me ask him for Prema-Bhakti, because when I ask for Prema-Bhakti, this Prema-Bhakti will give me entrance in Krishna Loka, will give me entrance in Golok Vrindavan, and there I can see my Krishna always. I can see Krishna face to face. If not, then at least I will get entrance into the realm in which Krishna is performing his pastimes, means into different universes. He is not only aspiring to go to spiritual world, he's saying, okay, even if it is a material world, that's okay. But Krishna, may I be present in that universe where you are performing your Leela and I should see you face to face ever. So this is the desire. And then Satyavrat Muni, he got an idea how to ask for that Prema Bhakti. And then he stated this seventh verse. कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धां मूर्तियेवात्वात् त्वया मुचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं प्रयाच्च नमोक्षग्रहो मेस्ते दामोदरेहा. O Damodar, even though you were bound with a rope to the grinding mortar by your mother, you set the two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, free from Sri Narada's curse, that they live as twin Arjuna trees, and enable them to become recipients of the highest possible attainment, bhakti. In the same way, please profusely bestow upon me Prema Bhakti for you. I long for this alone. I do not want any other kind of liberation. So after praying this, let's see that what's happening. So yes, as Satyavrat Muni prayed with great eagerness for the direct darshan of Sri Bhagavan, because he was overwhelmed by a special kind of prema, that is prema vishesha. But after having that one glimpse, one direction, having determined that Prema Bhakti is only the means to attain that darshan, because now after getting one glimpse, he had the desire that I should see the Lord always in front of my eyes. So now he prays to Sri Bhagavan with the hope of attaining Prema Bhakti. But then Satyavrat Muni fears that his mind will not be satiated after having Sri Bhagavan's darshan only once. And at the same time, he dreads the agony of separation from Sri Bhagavan when he will not be able to see him the very next moment. We know that how when somebody is so much absorbed in Krishna Prem, and especially having darshan of Krishna face to face, then nimishena, even the nimish becomes yugayitam nimishena, chakshusha pravashaitam, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu writes. That one nimish becomes a yuga. It becomes a complete yuga for a sadhaka, for a devotee, if that devotee doesn't see Krishna. So he was also thinking that, yes, I saw Krishna, but this agony is there in my heart that I will not be able to see him next moment. So somehow or other, I want to see him always. But then Satyavrat Muni said, he was still apprehensive. He said, 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So then Satyavrat Muni said, that how can such a severe offender like myself, because he is thinking that he is the biggest offender. See the humility of Satyavrat Muni. We just do some little amount of bhakti and we start thinking ourselves to be Uttam Adhikari. So here Satyavrat Muni, he's saying, who has already got a glimpse, he said, oh, how can such a severe offender like myself will attain the rarest treasure of this Prema Bhakti? Because he know that it's only through the means of Prema Bhakti that he can get the entrance in Krishna Loka, where he can see Krishna always face to face. But immediately then, he remembered. He was comforted, and he remembered Bhagwan's glorious quality of Bhakta Vatsalyata, by which Bhagwan makes the impossible possible. So this is the hope against hope. A devotee knows that he is not eligible to get darshan of the Supreme Lord. But at the same time, he hopes against this hope because he knows that my Supreme Lord is Bhakta Vatsalyata. He has this special feature, special quality where he makes the impossible possible. So if he wants, then yes, he can appear before me always, and he can give me the chance where I can participate in his Leela and I can see him face to face always. So thinking in this way, Satyavrat Muni got enthusiastic. First, he got morosed that why Krishna will bestow Prema Bhakti on a person like me, who is a serious offender. Why he will give this rarest treasure of Prema Bhakti to me. But then he saw no. Then he thought, no, Krishna is Bhakta Vatsalyata. He has this glorious quality. So definitely he will do it. And with that, he said this verse. And he said, Kuber Atma Jau Baddha Murti Evadvat. So what he's saying here is, he's saying, Kuber Atma Jau. Kuvera, we know, who is the treasurer of demigods. Atma Jau means uski atma se janm liye हुए, means they were the sons of Kuvera. But Jau, au, when the word au is added, it means dvivachan. So Sanskrit has ekavachan, dvivachan, and bahuvachan. In Hindi also we have this. So, but in English we have only singular and plural. But in Sanskrit it is ekvachan, dvivachan means two, and then bahuvachan. So Atma Jau means that he is talking about the two sons of Kuvera. And what are their names? Nala Kuvera and Mani Griva. Then he says Baddha Murtya. Kuber Atma Jau Baddha Murtya. By the divine form, your Murti. So these Kuberatma Jau, these two sons of Kuvera, they were bound. But they saw your Shri Vigraha. And Eva, certainly. So certainly they saw Shri Vigraha form of yours where you were also bound. Sons of sons of Kuvera were definitely bound. But they saw you. They saw Krishna. They saw Damodar also being bound by the ropes to that grinding motor. And this Satyavrat Muni is saying, Kuveratma Jau Murti Baddha Murti Evadvad. So what he says that with this conviction that Shri Bhagavan's glorious quality of Bhakta Vatsalyata, he rejected varieties of moksha. And now in this very beginning with Kuber Atma Jau, he exclusively prays for Prema Bhakti. With the words Baddhamurteva, the sage says, despite exhibiting the exceptional characteristics of allowing Sri Yashoda bind you to the grinding motor with the rope, in your divine form, Shri Vigraha of Shri Damodar, even in this exceptional form in which you yourself was bound, you delivered the two sons of Kuvera from their bondage. This reveals the incomparable fortune of the twin Arjuna trees who were able to see. They were able to see Krishna. And not only seeing, they were able to touch Krishna personally when he enacted his supremely enchanting pastimes. So this is what happened. So till now, what was happened is that our Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, she has bound Krishna. Until the verse number 6, Krishna is bound only. And he is not doing anything. He is just standing there. He is crying and mother is busy. So when she bound with the ropes around Krishna's belly, she tied her to the grinding motor. And then she didn't pay any attention and she went to churn the yogurt. Though her mind was continuously on her son, but still she thought that he deserves this punishment. And therefore, she bounds him and then she leaves. She leaves inside to work, to perform his household chores. Our Krishna is simply standing there, don't know what to do. And just then, it was morning time now, and his friends, Sridham, Ram, Sudam, they all, Madhumangal, they all came. And all Krishna's sakhas, they arrived. Mother Rohini was also back from Nanda Bhavan because they went to the house of Upananda. So she was also back along with Nanda Maharaj and Baladev. And they all entered, and the group of sakhas also entered. But first, actually, sakhas were there who saw Krishna bound with the ropes. Mother Rohini, Baladev, and Nanda Maharaj, they came little later. So they all entered and they saw Krishna was crying. Krishna was crying with tears, and his tears were actually mixed with his kajal, his anjana, the black cosmetic ointment. And because of which, one side of the kajal, because he was rubbing, so one side of the the kajal that he has put in one eye was gone. But on the other eye, kajal was still there. The black ointment was still there. So what happened when Krishna started crying? It's been explained that on the side where the ointment was rubbed, because Krishna was continuously rubbing, at that side, the tears, when they were flowing, they were white in color. So they represented Ganga. On the other hand, when Krishna, the ointment which was still there, and the tears that were flowing from that eye, it was mixed with that black ointment, and it represents Yamuna. So it was the mixture of the two rivers that was cascading through his eyes to his neck to his chest. So it's a poetic way of explanation by the poets, by the Rasikacharyas, that they explain like this. And suddenly, what happened? All the sakhas came, and then immediately Balaram also came to that group. And Balaram asked Kanhaiya and all the sakhas, they asked, who bound him? Balaram, first of all, thought that whoever has done this action, this act, I will definitely punish him. And then Madhumangal, very softly, he whispered in the ears of Baladev that it was Mother Yashoda who bound Krishna. As soon as Lord Balaram heard the name of Mother Yashoda, he just became silent. And after a few moments, all the Sakhas and Balaram, they all thought that, okay, let's open it up. Enough of it. And they tried to open the knot, but they were unable to untie the knot that was knotted by Mother Yashoda, because it was not simply a knot, but it was the knot made out of love of Mother Yashoda. Sanatan Goswami here explains that the devotees who are in Vatsalya Prem, those who are in the parental love, those who are in a Vatsalya Ras, they are superior to the devotees, those who are in Sakhyaras. So first is the Shantaras, then Dasyaras, then Sakhyaras, then comes Vatsalyaras, and finally Madhuryaras. Now, because all these sakhas were in the Sakhyaras, they were unable to untie the knot that was knotted by Mother Yashoda, who was in Vatsalyaras, because their love was little inferior as compared to the love of Mother Yashoda. Now, there Sanatan Goswami explains that had been Balaram at that time situated in the form of an Angamanjari, where he was in the form of, where he was depicting Madhurya Ras, he could have untied the knot, because Madhurya Ras is higher than that of Vatsalya Ras. But because Balaram and all the Sakhas, they were in Sakhya Bhav, they were unable to untie Krishna. So Sri Krishna was thinking, now what to do? And suddenly, he said, okay, he stopped crying at that time. He was unable to free himself, but still he told the Sakhas that it's okay, let's play like this only. Enough of it. And then all the Sakhas told that, okay, yes, you can tip over the grinding mortar and then you can drag it in your courtyard and then we can play. And at that very moment, Krishna remembered the incident that happened long ago. And that incident was the incident that happened between the sons of Kuvera and his dear devotee, Sri Narad Muni. At that time, Sri Krishna remembered. As soon as the Gopas, all the Sakhas said that, okay, let's go and play in the courtyard, immediately Krishna remembered. Krishna thought that Devarshi Narada, my dear devotee, even though these two brothers were intoxicated, they were the sons of the most wealthy demigod, who was Kuvera. Even though they were intoxicated, they have no devotion for me. Still, I will fulfill Sri Narada's word by appearing directly before them and granting them this devotional service unto me, because it was Narada's promise. So what happened was, we all know the story, but as the part of this verse, I would like this opportunity to narrate that Kuvera, he was the very dear friend of Narada, Devarshi Narada Muni, and his two sons, Nalakuvera and Manigreva. One day they were bathing. They were bathing in this celestial Ganga known as Mandakini. And they were bathing not by themselves, but all the heavenly damsels were also around these two brothers. And they both were intoxicated. They were intoxicated being wealthy, beautifully figured, youthful, and noble birth. So these are the things that makes one intoxicated. Our scripture described that great opulence, wealth, noble birth, and appearance, one's physical appearance, makes one intoxicated. Intoxicated not with the liquor, but the intoxication of all these qualities. So these were present in Nalakuvera and Manigreva. So they were so much intoxicated, and on top of that, they were intoxicated by drinking wine. So it was both. Internally also they were intoxicated because of this birth, wealth, their appearance, their high parentage. And at the same time, they also drank liquor. So they were enjoying with the ladies, and at that time, Narad Muni passed by. So when the ladies saw that Narad Muni is coming, they came out of the water, they dressed themselves, and they offered obeisances to Narad Muni. But Nalakuvera and Manigreva, being totally intoxicated, ignored the presence of Narad Muni, to the fact that they stood naked in front of Narad Muni and ignoring him and still calling these damsels, these heavenly damsels, to return back, because they immediately left. Now, Narad Muni was very upset seeing the behavior of these two sons of Kuvera. And at that time, internally, he was overwhelmed by the compassion for both of them. Externally, outwardly, Narad Muni actually was very furious. He was feigned in anger, and therefore he cursed. But scriptures explain that internally Narad Muni was showing compassion onto both the sons of Narad Muni, or both the sons of Kuvera. So Narad Muni, he cursed them to become trees. He said, your behavior actually befits that of trees, because the trees also stand naked, and you are also very fond of standing naked, so become trees. As soon as these two brothers heard the curse that was uttered by Narad Muni, they were filled with fear. And they fall at the feet of Narad Muni. They were begging and weeping, and they said, please pardon us. Please forgive us for our mistake. Please tell us. Narad Muni said, well, my curse cannot be counteracted. They said that, please tell us somehow. Tell us the way. How can we be delivered? Because we are very repentful. Narad Muni said, okay, if that is the case, then both of you will become the two Arjuna trees, and you will be staying in Vrindavan Dham in the house of Nand Maharaj in Gokula. And at the end of Dwapar Yuga, when Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna will appear, then he will deliver you out of this curse while performing his childhood pastimes. So Shri Krishna remembered this curse. He was overwhelmed by the compassion for these two sons of Kuvera, and just pretending that he wants to play with his friends, he just crawled between those trees along with the grinding motor. But unfortunately or fortunately, that motor got become clogged between the two trees. But Sri Krishna was able to cross through. And while crossing, he happened to even touch those trees. And then he gave a great force, just a force, and the two Arjuna trees, they came down crashing to the ground, and they make a huge tumultuous sound. So then what happened, that the two divine personalities, Nalakuvera and Manigreva, they appeared from these two trees. They circumambulated Lord Shri Krishna, and they submitted their prayers in glorification of him. They asked forgiveness of their offense that they have committed. And Shri Krishna then said that, oh, it's okay, you are offering this obeisances to me. Actually, I am not the cause of this. It's Narada who wants me, who wants you to see me face to face. So it was Narada's compassion that you are able to see me. And then, similarly, as they saw, Satyavrat Muni is saying, Tva mochi tau bhakti bhajahu kritaucha. That if someone is addressed by the phrase bhakti bhaja, means they became the recipients of bhakti. It is understood that they have taken irrevocable shelter of bhakti as the ultimate goal, and they were never neglected in any way. So he says, Tva mochi tau, you delivered them, you gave them the prayojana, the ultimate goal. And you give them, they both, bhakti bhajau, they both of them became the recipient of bhakti. And you made, kratau, you were the one who made them the recipient of this bhakti. So Satyavrat Muni says, you made both of them so dedicated to bhakti. This is a clear indicating that Sri Bhagavan himself granted them Prema-Bhakti. Although Sri Damodara was himself in a state of being bound, Mochitau, but he still liberated Mochitau, the two sons of Nalakuvera and Manigreva. So this way, Satyavrat Muni is saying, Kuveratma jau, Kuveratma jau bhakti. कुवेरात्मा जव बद्ध मूर्ति एवाद्वाद त्वया मोची तव भक्ति भजहु कृतौ च. Just as you gave prema bhakti to those people who were intoxicated internally and externally and were least bothered about the devotional service, but out of your compassion, you gave this prema bhakti to these two devotees. And you yourself was bound at that time. But still, you went out of your way and you liberated these two personalities. You gave them prema bhakti. Now, really Krishna gave them prema bhakti? Yes. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, verse 42. Tad gachattam mat paramau nalakuvera sadanam sanjato mai bhavo vam ipshita paramo bhava. So when these two personalities appeared from these two trees, they circumambulated, they offered their prayers, they offered their respects to Krishna. At that time, Sri Krishna told them, O Nalakuvera and Manigreva, now you both may return home. Tat gacchata mat paramau. Matlab means to my param dham, you both of you can go. Nalakuvera sadana means both of you, Nalakuvera and Manigreva, you both of you go to my param dham. Sanjato mai bhavo vam ipshita parom. You, since you desire to be always absorbed in my devotional service, your desire to develop love and affection for me will be fulfilled. And now you will never fall from that platform. So now we can say that how they desired, how they were desiring this love and affection for Krishna. Because when they were cursed and then when they were in the tree's body, the entire time it was only repentance. It was severe repentance that was there in the heart of Nalakovera and Manigrava. And they were waiting because Narad Muni told them that Krishna will appear at the end of Dwapar Yuga. Swayam Bhagwan Krishna will come and he will give you liberation. So they were simply waiting. And while waiting, they became the witness of all the childhood pastimes of Krishna. To an extent that they were also thinking that when that time will come when they will participate in this Leela, or when they will narrate this childhood pastimes to others. So therefore, for the very, very long time, after repenting, having that regression in their heart, they were also desiring to see Krishna and to narrate Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's stories. So Sanatan Goswami, while explaining this verse, he says that Sri Bhagavan is saying, O Nalakuvera and Manigreva, the Prema, Parama Bhava, last line it says, Parama Bhava, for me, my, that the two of you desired, Vam, Ipshita, you have desired, two of you means that Vam, Bhavo Vam, Yipshita, you have been desiring because you all have, both of you have become witness to my childhood pastimes. Now that has fully arisen in you, Sanjato. Therefore, you will no longer have to suffer. No longer you have to suffer the pain of repeated birth and death in this material existence, Abhava. Now you will be liberated. So they were not only liberated, but they were also given Prema Bhakti. They became the famous reciters as Madhukanta and Snigdakanta in Goloka Vrindavan, where they will eternally associate with the eternal associates of Krishna, and they get this opportunity to narrate these unlimited pastimes of Sri Krishna, childhood pastimes, to Nand Maharaj in his assembly and all the other cowherd boys, as well as in front of gopis. So they both became the famous reciters of Krishna's childhood pastimes as Madhukanta and Snigdakanta. So in one sense, we see that how Krishna himself gives this prema bhakti, but in other way, we can understand that this cannot be obtained even after accumulating immense piety for millions of lifetime. But this Prema Bhakti was bestowed by Krishna only because of the causeless mercy of Shri Guru. Only by the causeless mercy of Shri Narada Muni. That Narada Muni, though apparently looks like that he cursed, but actually this was his compassion towards the two sons of Kuvera. That he wants them to be totally reformed, and therefore he cursed. Yes, it looks like a curse, but it was a blessing in disguise. That by the mercy of Sri Guru, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, even Sri Hari bestows this Prema Bhakti onto the devotee. Now, holding on to this thought, holding on to the thought that how Krishna gave them Prema Bhakti, how Krishna gave them Prema Bhakti, and that too by the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Now our Satyavrat Muni is saying, Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakam me prayacha. That Prema Bhakti that you gave it to to both the sons of Kuvera, you gave that bhakti to both of them. On the pretext of whom? On the pretext of the mercy of Sri Narad Muni. That same Prema Bhakti, because now they became the eternal associate of your Golok Vrindavan, where they got this opportunity to associate with your Nitya Siddhas devotees. So that same Prema Bhakti that you gave, Swakam, your Prema Bhakti, Swakam, your own Prema Bhakti that you have give me also, Prayacha, I also desire. Similarly, that Prema Bhakti, that loving devotion, your own loving devotion that you have given to the two sons of Kuvera, now please give it to me. Please profusely bestow on me. Prayacha. Now I long for this. And I also want this Prema Bhakti. Now this is giving me hope that if the two sons of Kuvera can get, then why not me? Satyavrat Muni says, O Damodar, just as you granted Prema Bhakti to the two sons of Kuvera without any cause, similarly, now when it comes to me, don't see any cause, don't try to find any reason, just profusely bestow upon me this Prema Bhakti. For you, which is categorized by taking absolute shelter of your lotus feet. Please grant me Prema Bhakti for your beautiful form as a small child who is bound by the mother's robes. I want to see this form of yours always. Give me this Prema Bhakti. Now Shri Krishna may ask, why are you insisting on Prema Bhakti, Satyavrat Muni? What do you achieve? Why do you exclusively want Prema Bhakti? Why will you not accept liberation as well? Because Prema Bhakti doesn't mean that you will be out of this cycle of birth and death. Even while staying in different universes where Krishna is performing his pastimes, you may get entrance into those pastimes out of Prema Bhakti that has been bestowed by Krishna. But warning is that still you will be in this material universe. Even though you will be in the association of Krishna and his loving devotees while Krishna is performing his pastimes, but still there is a chance that that you may not leave this material existence. You may still be in this material world. So why don't you accept moksha as well? Just why only exclusively Prema Bhakti? Even the two sons, they also got liberation. They also got moksha. They went back to my spiritual world. So why don't you ask both? Why don't you ask, I want moksha as well as Prema Bhakti? Because only Prema Bhakti cannot guarantee you. Because this Prema Bhakti, you may have to repeatedly suffer miseries like birth and death within this material existence. So why are you insisting only on Prema Bhakti? Why don't you accept liberation as well? Then the sage said, "O Krishna, O Lord, I may encounter immeasurable troubles, innumerable troubles in my life, according to my past deeds and impressions. I may have to take birth in the various species of life. I may also have to enter hell, but I have no concern for this. But my only concern is that I want your Prema Bhakti. No matter, even to get this Prema Bhakti, I have to suffer in this cycle of birth and death. But my prayer is that I want your Prema Bhakti. That's my only prayer." And then he says, just like Vritrasura, he quotes, Satyavrat Muni says, just like Vritrasura, what he's praying, Mamottama shloka janeshu sakyam samsara chakre brahmata swakarmabhi tvanmayayatma jadarageshu asakta chittasya nanatha bhuyat. Where he says, Vritrasura is playing Mamottama shloka janeshu sakyam. Oh, Supreme Lord, among devotees, those who are exclusively attached to your Prema Bhakti, I want friendship with them. Means I want to always be in the association of those who are your Ananya Bhaktas, who exclusively worship only you. And to get that, even I have to be in this samsara chakra. I will consider that I am wandering in this samsara chakra because of my some past deeds. But you please don't worry about it. You just give me the association of your loving devotees, those who worship you with exclusive ananyata. Only then I will think that my life will be successful. Twan mayayatmaja darageshu. By your external energy, maybe my children, my home, they all are there, but let my mind not be attached to them. Let my mind be only be asakt, only be attached unto you. Oh Master, he says, Svitrasur, I do not want liberation. Don't think that I'm here to ask you for liberation. I'm not concerned, even if I have to repeatedly roam about in this vicious cycle of birth and death as a result of my own actions only. But I pray that wherever I go and in whichever species I take birth, I just maintain loving friendship with your dear devotees who have Prema Bhakti for you. Oh Master, I pray that I will not have to maintain any relationship with those who are subjected to your illusory potency, and therefore those who are attached to their bodies, homes, wives, children, families, and others. I don't want this. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Asat Sanga Tyaga Ehi Vaishnavachar. That Vaishnav ka achar kya hai? What is the protocol for the Vaishnavas? That they don't want to associate with anyone, any worldly minded people, those who are attached to their family, friends, children, relatives, and their possessions. But Vaishnavas want only the association of like-minded Vaishnavas. And that's what Vritrasura prayed. And in the same way, our Satyavrat Muni says, don't worry about that, Krishna. Don't think that I will be concerned if I do not get liberation. I will be more than happy if you give me association of your loving devotees. I don't want to get rid of this cycle of birth and death. Somehow I will manage. Somehow I will manage this, thinking that it's my own past deeds. But you please guarantee me to give this Prema Bhakti unto me. Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakam me prayacha. Swakam means your own Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti towards you I want. So please profusely bestow this Prema Bhakti unto me. And in the last he says, Namoksha graho mesti damodare. I don't want any moksha. Forget about liberation. I'll be happy in this world also, provided I am always in the association of your Prema Bhaktas. Only then I will be happy. I don't want your moksha. Na moksha graho mesti damodareha. What I want is to be in your association, to be in the association of Prema Bhaktas. Because when I'm in the association of Prema Bhaktas, then Prema Bhakti is guaranteed. And when that Prema Bhakti will be guaranteed, I will see your form as Damodar. Na moksha. I only long for this. Oh, Bhaktavatsala Damodar. I only want this. I only want your Prema Bhakti. Now, Satyavrat Muni explains, if my repeated birth and death within material existence is destroyed by Prema Bhakti as a byproduct, then yes, let it be destroyed. But exclusively, I don't want ki Prema Bhakti bhi mile and liberation bhi mile. I don't want that. I don't want to do that kind of deal. But yes, if by giving Prema Bhakti and along with that Prema Bhakti as a byproduct, if my repeated birth and death, this vicious cycle is also destroyed, then yes, let it be destroyed. And if it not, then also I do not care, because I have no expectation either way. I don't want, I only want that I should be in your association of your Premi Bhaktas. So this is the ultimate desire that a devotee can have. I mean, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes in his Manasa Deha Geha Jeki Chumur that Kita Janma Hoy. Oh Krishna, if you want that I should take a birth of an insect, make sure that I take this birth of an insect in the home of a devotee, where constantly this Harinam is ringing in my ears, where may always be in the association of your devotees. So this is the mood of our Rasikacharyas, that they only want Prema Bhakti. Now, simple example, then Sanatan Goswami takes the side of Satyavrat Muni and he says, if someone obtains a wish-fulfilling Chintamani gem, then he will easily attain everything else. So therefore, in the presence of Prema Bhakti, what is the use of accepting a single insignificant boon like moksha? So definitely, if somebody has that Chintamani gem, that he doesn't need anything. He has everything. So therefore, he says that if somebody is having that Prema Bhakti, why to further long for that insignificant boon like moksha? So therefore, Satyavrat Muni says, na moksha gromi. I don't want any kind of moksha. Then what I want is Damodar Reha. Iha. I want to see your form as Damodar. And then Krishna said, how selfish you are. How selfish you are, Satyavrat Muni. Because it is possible to interpret this to mean that this selfish sage wants Sri Krishna and his ways to remain uncomfortably bound by rope forever. Because he wants to see as Damodara. And Damodara means that you will always be bound by the rope. And then, therefore, to correct himself, because he knows that his prayer might get misunderstood by Krishna. Krishna might think that, do you want me to be tied, remain tied forever? You don't want me to be released from this bondage? What do you want, Satyavrata? Why are you being so selfish? He might misunderstood. So before that, Krishna points out Satyavrat Muni himself in the mood of regression. He says, he's overwhelmed with regret. And he says, no, Krishna, don't think that I want you to remain bound with the ropes of Mother Yashoda. I'm certainly concerned for you. Don't think that I want. Actually, I want to tell you that you are not bound by the ropes of Mother Yashoda. That was not the ropes that were able to bind you. That was Mother Yashoda's love. And even if we take the example, the commentary of Sanatan Goswami, and we take the word Gopya to be Srimati Radharani, then also Krishna loves to be bound by Srimati Radharani. He always wants that Srimati Radharani always ties him, chastise him, because he longs for that love. He loves when Srimati Radharani goes in man, because that gives the opportunity to Krishna to calm her down, to pacify her in various ways. So Krishna loves it. So therefore, our Satyavrat Muni is saying that don't think that you will be bound. Fearing his prayer may be misunderstood. He says, Damodariha, kindly grant me that uncommon prema bhakti, which I fervently cherish in relation to your exceptional form as Damodara, who is bound by the prema of Mother Yashoda. You were not bound by the ropes. So, oh Krishna, don't think that I'm selfish. I have real concern for you. So don't think that you are bound by the ropes. The ropes cannot bind you by any chance. It was the love of Mother Yashoda. It was the love of Srimati Radharani that you were bound by their love. So therefore, Damodariha, I want to see you as Damodar. I want to see you as either Yashoda Damodar or as Radha Damodar. But I always want to see you that you are in the company of your devotees, and I don't want any liberation. Na mokshe graho misti Damodare. Now, Sanatan Goswami gives another meaning of this word iha. So, first he says, I want to see this Damodar only. But the word iha can also be interpreted in this to mean in Vrindavan. I want to see your form as Damodara in Vrindavan. Here, iha means here. Only this place in Vrindavan only. And by this interpretation, it is understood that the sage prays, please grant me Prema Bhakti in Vrindavan. Why? Because Prema Bhakti only appears in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Because Prema Bhakti manifests in Sri Vrindavan Dham only. Therefore, he says that I have this extraordinary desire to see you as Vrindavan Bihari, to see you as Sri Damodar, bound by the love of Mother Yashoda or Srimati Radharani, and standing in that threefold bending form. And that is only possible in Vrindavan. Nowhere else Krishna can be bound with any kind of ropes or love. So indirectly, he conveys this message also to Krishna that here in Vrindavan only, I want this association of your Premi Bhaktas. And after explaining all this, the verse is over. But Sanatan Goswami also explains that how can we attain this Prema Bhakti? And then he quotes his celebrated verse, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchis Tata Asaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Bhudanichati Sadhakanamayam Prema Pradurbhave Bhavit Kramaha. ये क्रम से चलता है, means it goes step by step. Gradually one rises to the level of Prema Bhakti. So this is just the translation. But how does this Prema appear? In the association of devotees. A sadhaka who has been wandering, who has been tossing around in this fathomless ocean of material existence by the countless waves of misery, somehow he's been wandering over, but somehow by the special mercy of Sri Bhagavan, when the time comes for their worldly entanglement to be ended, at that time, by the causeless mercy of Sri Bhagavan, that sadhaka, that jiva attains the association of devotees. So when the time came for Nala, Kuvera and Manigreva, at that time, they got the association of Narad Muni. Though apparently it was a curse, but it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. So how the prema appears? First of all, we have to be in the association of sadhakas. We have to be in the association of saints, of those who are aspiring bhakti towards Bhagavan. And we should directly hear from the mouth of these exalted personalities. Then what will happen? As a result of bhakti unmukhi sukriti, pious credits that we achieve related to bhakti, the transcendental faith or paramarthika shraddha arises within the sadhaka's heart. And the indication is that this kind of shraddha, that adho shraddha, is this paramarthika shraddha, where that arises in the heart of a sadhaka, and the sadhaka firmly believes in the statements of the scriptures, gets this shastriya shraddha, and longs to hear Sri Harikatha. Upon the dawning of such faith in a sincere way, he begins to associate with his devotees, sadhu sangha, the shraddha, tata sadhu sangha, and then bhajana. Then he begins to practice his own bhajan, again in the association of devotees, and finally anartha starts getting to vanish. Anartha nivriti happens. And at that time, when this bhajan, this anishtita bhajan becomes nishtita bhajan, then the steadfastness, then the nishtha arises, and subsequently the sadhaka gets ruchi, taste for this process of devotional service. Eventually, he develops profound attachment, that is asakti, towards bhajan, towards Bhagavan, and for his bhajan and for the object of his bhajan, that is Bhagavan, his worshipable Lord. He gets this asakti. And when the stage matures, it becomes bhava, the sprouting stage of ecstatic, loving emotions that start arising in the heart of the sadhaka. And then finally, when this bhava matures, the prema rises in the heart of the sadhaka only by the mercy of Sri Bhagavan. With our own endeavor, it's not possible to attain this prema. Therefore, today's topic and title was the gift of Prema-Bhakti, that this Satyavrat Muni was praying to Krishna. Oh Krishna, you are the one who can make impossible into possible. So please grant me this Prema-Bhakti, because this Prema-Bhakti, from our own endeavor, it cannot be achieved. It has to be bestowed by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Vaishnavas. So this is the sequence in which prema appears within the heart of a sadhaka. And for this prema bhakti, Satyavrat Muni is longing for and is praying to Krishna, please grant me this prema bhakti. Don't find any kind of eligibility. Don't try to find any kind of eligibility in me, because you will not find any. So without any cause, just give me this prema bhakti as you gave to the sons of Kuvera. Then Krishna can say, well, it's not me, it was Narad Muni who gave. And therefore, our Satyavrat Muni is also in the mood of Vritrasura, is praying that, okay, if it is only because of Guru Vaishnavas that we get this Prema Bhakti, and you are bound to give Prema Bhakti only after their recommendations, then yes, I don't want moksha. I only want Prema Bhakti. Make me always stay in the association of Premi Bhaktas, my gurus, my spiritual masters, Vaishnavas, so that on their recommendation, Krishna, you are bound to give me Prema Bhakti. So with this, we'll end. So this was the verse 7. We'll recite one more time. Now we know word by word meaning, and we know the hidden mood of Satyavrat Muni, and of course, what Krishna can counteract with it. So with that, we can recite one more time. Kuveratmajau baddha murti evadvat tvaya mochitau bhakti bhajahu kritahu cha tatha prema bhaktim swakammi prayacha namokshe graho mesti damodariha. So this is how our Satyavrat Muni prays. So we'll stop here. Thank you all so much for your association. Let's see if we have any corrections, any additions, any realizations. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sushmit, yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Such a beautiful, beautiful class. And I really enjoyed the explanations word by word for this verse. I did have two questions. So the first, okay, I'll ask the second question first. The second question was about Satyavrat Muni. So Satyavrat Muni is like so nicely telling, I want only Prema-Bhakti. I don't even care for liberation. Just keep me in your, I'm able to just think about you and see your pastimes in Vrindavan, etc. Uh, but he becomes Vaivasvatamanu, right? So do we know if he's really, I mean, it's a wrong question to ask, but since my mind is hovering around it, um, what kind of prema bhakti is that? I mean, I don't know. We don't know what's happening, right? So we can't
So,
guess.
so you mean to say Satyavrat Muni later becomes Vaivasvata Manu?
Yeah. So was the desire really fulfilled, and was he like immersed in prema bhakti? Do we see some stories? That's how my mind was going. Yeah, we
Loading.
don't. The I know that's a bad question, but somehow my mind went there. Then the other point was about see, ultimately Damodar was bound by Yashoda and released by Nanda. Isn't it the same rasa who can bind and unbind, or is it like even a higher rasa can come in
A
between?
higher
Because
rasa can also untie.
really, because I
Yeah.
was thinking it's such a uncalled for interference, right? No.
No. A higher rasa can untie. That's why Sanatan Goswami says that if Balaram at that time would have been in the mood of Anangamanjari, then he would have easily untied him.
That's, yeah,
So
I can
he could.
imagine how mad Mother Yashoda would be.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Mataji. That's all. And thank you for the very interesting session, as always.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm also searching like what happened. Satyavrat Muni next. Uh, Vaivasvata Manu. So Mataji is the same Satyavrata? I doubt. Because
Could be that this was one of the questions I'd asked
uh,
many years ago on Bhakti Sangha with some
uh,
other speaker. You were not the speaker, it was somebody else. And
uh,
they were like very confidently telling, yes, it is the same. So then from that day, I tend to believe that it was the same. I could be totally wrong. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I have to make further research on this, whether it's the same Satyavrat Muni who
Or
wrote
somebody
Damodara
else.
Ashtakam or who later became Vaivasvata Manu. Because I know when Krishna um, came as a fish incarnation, as a Matsya avatar, then he protected Satyavrat Muni.
So, and then I also had follow-up questions with that person regarding how he had heard, because the Matsya incarnation says that he had heard all the Vedas,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's when he had heard about Krishna as well. So all these discussions were going on back and forth in question answers to confirm and reconfirm again with the speaker that it was indeed Satyavrat Muni who is not different from that. But anyhow, I think we are still open to research. So yeah.
Yeah. We'll still do that. Otherwise, your point is valid that how he first getting that dasya bhav, then finally vatsalya bhav, and now he's trying to pray for prema bhakti, and in the last verse he'll jump into the madhurya bhav and still taking birth as Vaivasvata Manu. Yeah, it has to be searched.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
so
Sushma
much.
Mataji.
So many points you said, Mataji. So nicely explained. We are very, very grateful to you, Mataji. You said that we all are, yes, Mataji, the gift. We all are desiring to have that gift, Mataji, by Lord Krishna's mercy and by Srila Gurudev's mercy. May we all get that gift of Krishna Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Uh, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any other realization or Any questions? Please go ahead.
Hare
In
Krishna
chat box.
Mataji, no. Hare
Thank you
Krishna
so much,
Mataji,
Shweta
sorry,
Mataji. Yeah.
no questions. Mataji, it was really so many things was more like revealing. Like we've gone through the Damodara-ashtakam, maybe simply chanting it, reading the small translation, but so many things. Just in one verse. At the end of this only, I realized that you've taken up one verse. It's like a whole full big book that you have taken up to talk to us about. And Mataji, that even the knot, we know about the big rope. The rope is big, it goes round and round, it's never tied up. And the trees and all those big things we know, even the ukkal or the oral. But a knot, you spoke about the knot also, how that knot can be about the Sakya Bhav and the Vatsalya Bhav, which is higher and lower, just based on that small knot. So, like next time we see a Damodar picture, let alone listen to this Ashtakam, I think a lot of these things will also go in the mind. Apart from the story which we have heard from childhood, apart from just the story, even that small, I think I'll go search for the knot in my picture and see where it is, which is of so much significance. And also about the Prema-Bhakti. That was really, really nice, Mataji. Like for me personally, like it was like I was immersed in some very beautiful liquid, just floating, being immersed in that. The thought of Prema Bhakti, the thought of all these people, how much they value Prema Bhakti, and they don't want even other things if they can get Prema Bhakti and but keep serving. So this is something I have told, I don't know, I think I've told in reply to like this before, but I've told Preeti Mataji once before, why do we need liberation if we can be in this material body, but be in the association of devotees. After such classes only, I was telling Mataji, after all these classes, the Sangha, that also you touched upon, about the Sangha. So if this Sangha, this type of Sanghas, so many Sanghas, if that is what he's going to give us, then where is the need for getting out of the cycle of birth and death? I was telling her, Mataji, I don't want that. If this is what I will get by being in this cycle, then it's okay. Go round and round in this circle in the association of devotees, listening about Krishna, thinking about Krishna, looking at deities. We also say deities are nothing but the Lord Himself.
Exactly.
The books, the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, which are again the Lord Himself. Non-different from the Lord is what we say. The japa, the sound that comes out of our mouth or someone else's mouth when we listen to it. So if this is all that is going to surround us, then we're really fine being in this cycle, going round and round. Because all our Siksha Gurus, initially when we start, listening to Krishna consciousness, how to get out of the cycle is what is told. But now, after listening to all this, this is nice. If he will give us this, that is a big if. We need some Sukruti for that. So thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sumi Mataji, for sharing your wonderful realizations. It's all because of your sincerity that you are getting all this understanding. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sumi Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, I think Pratibhalasini Mataji has raised her.
Yes.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you, Sumi Mataji, for that very sweet thought. So Kirtida Mataji, coming back to tying and untying, finally Nanda Maharaj untied Damodar. So then this defeats the point about the ribbon.
No, nowhere its ribbon is not mentioned.
That's what I said. So, meaning if it was the ribbon, then how could Nanda Maharaj untie?
Exactly. That also defeats the point that if it would have been ribbon, then only somebody in Madhurya Ras, and that too if it's Srimati Radharani's ribbon, then nobody else, only she can untie. So that also defeats this point that some devotees mentioned that it was lastly Srimati Radharani ribbon that was able to bind Krishna, but that's not true. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for bringing that point.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, in the chat also, so many devotees are saying thank you so much for the wonderful session. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, they became Madhukanta and Sridhakanta.
Snigdhakanta.
Snigdhakanta. Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I cannot see any more hand raised, Mataji.
Sure.
So, with your permission, can we end the call
Yes,
here, Mataji?
Mataji. Yes,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
So we can end this call, and we have still last verse to cover. And in that time, all of you also can research, and I will also research about this Satyavrat Muni that Preeti Vilasni Mataji asked, which is a valid question. So let's see if we get answer to that.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sorry for interrupting you, but Mataji, I didn't know that Satyavrat Muni was reborn.
Yeah, he was born as Vaivasvata Manu, but is it the same Satyavrat Muni or not, that we have to research.
Okay.
Because Satyavrat Muni was their king, actually. He was the king Satyavrata, that when Matsya Avatar came, right? And he was there in his Kamandalu, and then
Yeah, okay.
you
Yeah,
know that.
I remember now.
That is the king Satyavrata, but whether it's the same Satyavrat Muni or not, that we have to research.
So you're saying that if he's the one who offered these prayers?
Is he the one who was offering this Damodar Ashtakam? And if that is if it is, then why he took birth as Vaivasvata Manu? Because he is longing for this Prema-Bhakti.
Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for this wonderful class. And every time I hear this class, I mean, I get only one realization that I don't even exist. I'm not a Vaishnava. I don't even exist. That's the only
That's
thing
what
that
even Satyavrat Muni is saying, right? That I am a serious offender. Even Satyavrat Muni has the same realization. But still he's saying that even if I'm serious offender, please accept me as I am and give me your Prema Bhakti.
So wonderful, Mataji. Thank you
Mataji,
so much.
thank you, Mataji.
Thank you
No
so
questions, but thank you, Mataji. Thank you for enlightening me for such a small words and so much knowledge and so much thing you're having to enlighten us with so much. Really great, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for your association. And thank you, Mataji, for enlightening us.
It's all our acharyas who have penned down everything for us. So all credit goes to them.
Again and again, you're telling him he is making impossible into possible, Mataji. That is really, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. For today, is my heart is thinking like that only, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't know who is this, Krishna, he or she, I don't know. The devotee is writing that I have heard that they are two different, means that Satyavrat was different from this Satyavrat Muni. But thank you for that, but we'll research further. We should have the solid Shastra background for this, and then we'll come back. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, dear devotees. Yes,
Thank
Sushmita.
you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for such an enlightening class today and for your valuable time and association to us this mid-morning. With your permission, now we will end the call.
Sure,
Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Mataji. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaisnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai.
श्री राधा दामोदर जी की जय,
Jai.
Jai.
all the
जय
assembled Vaishnavas ki jai.
जय
Jai.
माता जी
Jai.
Anvatana,